2017 CIPM Awards Special Recognition Award in terms of talent retention. The winner is Channels Television.
Channels Television, please give them a big round of applause.
And there you have it, barely 48 hours after receiving the 12th Nigeria Media Merit Awards, Channels Television has been given a special recognition by the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria with an award in the Talent Retention category. The Talent Retention Award celebrates organizations for their ability to attract and keep rare talents in their industry, attributes which Channels Television prioritizes. The Assistant General Manager of Operations, Mr. Kingsley Uranta, who received the award on behalf of the station, appreciated CIPM and promised that the organization will work harder in human resource management and professional journalism.
On behalf of Chairman Channels Media Group, I'd like to say thank you very much to CIPN for this honor done us this evening. I would like to assure you that Channels will continue to showcase responsible journalism and retention of uncommon talents. Thank you very much indeed.
Let's take another look at our lead story now. And after about 2 weeks of rigorous military offensive, the Boko Haram stronghold in that lake region, the Nigerian army says it's killed several Boko Haram insurgents and captured at least 167 others who were fleeing from its airstrikes. A statement from the Deputy Director of Public Relations of the Operation Lafia Dole Theatre Command, Colonel Onyema Nwachukwu, says troops also profiled 67 women and 173 children who admitted to be relatives of the fleeing insurgents. The statement adds that in the past 2 months, troops of Operation Lafia Dole have sustained ongoing operations and have conducted long-range fighting patrols and ambushes, seeking out and clearing Boko Haram terrorists in Sada and Juwe communities in Borno State. Let's take a look at some sports news now. Here's Barong Tony Uranta.
Thank you, Joma, and welcome to Sports News. Nigeria's home-based Super Eagles have qualified for the final of the MPFL Super 6 tournament in Kano. Sunday Fale's goal from an assist from Dayo Ojo gave the home Eagles a slim 1-0 victory over Plateau United, which was enough to seal a place in the final. Coach Salisu Yusuf's boys needed a win to progress to the final after playing a draw with Plateau United in their first game. The team will face MFM, who played a 1-1 draw with Kano Pillars, but advanced to the final with a superior goals difference. Meanwhile, Nigeria's under-17 national team coach Bala Nkiru says the Flamingoes are better prepared for the match against Ethiopia in the second leg of the African qualifiers for the 2018 FIFA Women's World Cup in Uruguay. Coach Bala believes the technical crew have collectively worked on the areas of weaknesses that were identified in the first leg. The match will take place at the Samuel Obumedia Stadium in Benin City, 4 p.m. Saturday. That's tomorrow. The winner in aggregate will take on the winner of the match between Cameroon and Algeria in the final round of the series. And FIFA has warned the Spanish Football Federation that continued involvement from the government in the upcoming election for Football Federation's new president could result in their losing their place in the next summer's World Cup. The RFEF is currently led by Juan Luis Larrera on an interim basis after former President Angel Maria Villar was made to step down on corruption charges. Preparations for a new election are already well underway. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola is keen to bolster his defensive ranks in January, but is only interested in a long-term solution to the club's current shortage at the back. Guardiola has 4 senior centre-backs in his squad: John Stones, Nicholas Otamendi, Vincent Kompany and Ilaquim Magana. Stones is currently out with a hamstring injury, while Kompany missed Wednesday's win over West Swansea City with a minor muscle problem. Reports say they are targeting Southampton's Virgil van Dijk, while Real Sociedad's Inigo Martinez has also been linked to the move to the Etihad Stadium.
In the position central defender, we don't have many, especially for the situation from of course we have Tosin, but Tosin is still young. that is what we believe. It still has to improve, and Vincent always is in the situation, always is injured. He fights a lot to be ready, but sometimes he's not able to be consistency in being fit. And we have just 3 central defenders for that moment for competitions. And
Beijing has unveiled official emblems for the city's first 2022 Winter Olympics and Paralympic Winter Games at a launch ceremony attended by the Chinese government officials and athletes. Designed by Chinese artist Lin Chunxin, the Winter Olympics emblem was inspired by the Chinese character Dong, which means winter. The upper half of the logo was originated from the shape of a speed skater, while the lower part was from a skier. Incorporating Chinese calligraphy and the spirit of Paralympic winter sports, the emblem of Winter Paralympics was transformed from the Chinese character Fei, which means flying. And with that, we end on Sports News for tonight. I'm Byron Tony Ranta, and Ijoma will be back with a wrap.
Thanks a lot, Byron. EU leaders have agreed to move Brexit talks onto the second phase, although they called for further clarity from the UK about its future intentions. Donald Tusk, the president of the European Council, tweeted the news after a meeting of the other 27 EU leaders in Brussels. Talks will now move on to the long-term relationship between the UK and the EU. UK Prime Minister Theresa May said she wants both sides to approach the next phase of negotiations, which will determine the long-term shape of the UK relations with the EU with creativity and ambition. And the main news again. President Buhari today demanded proper accountability for Nigeria and other African returnees from the Mediterranean area as he received the AU and ECOWAS Commission heads in Abuja. Also today, the People's Democratic Party condemned the approval by governors for the withdrawal of $1 billion from the excess crude account to boost the fight against insurgency. And that's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks a lot for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Bunyato. You have a great weekend. Good night.